Hello, nerds, and welcome. We are crossing the Nerdverse here to promote our special episode where we play the game Survive, made by, in fact, Survive.
Pretty
It
catchy.
is, yeah,
Pretty
it's
catchy.
a variable player game, and it again is just a drawing card game. Ryan's going to get more into the rules, but we wanted to take this moment to let you guys know that you can check them out before you watch our special episode where we play test two separate boxes that were kindly provided to us by Survive. And with that, I'll throw it over to Ryan.
Excellent. Yeah. So, as you know, guys, the unplugged gaming stuff is something I'm very, very passionate about, and I think that this particular example of a board game or a table game, in this case, a card game, is one of the best that I've seen come across the Crossing the Nerdverse desk. So I'm just going to get straight into it and kind of explain the gameplay here. The good news and one of the best things about Survive to me is the ease of access. So Survive comes in many, many different forms and different variations, and they're all decks of cards. Now, these can be anything from political to environmental to religion to medical to workplace, and the personal boxes we got with history and workplace survival. There's a large collection that we got sent by Survive. I wanted to take a minute actually before I get too deep into this. I'm just going to say thank you. Survive, as far as the promotional materials we've got, this is one of my absolute favorites. This is fantastic, and I think as far as selling points go, I'm just going to open it up with this game is quickly becoming a go-to game for me and my family, and I'm absolutely going to be ordering more for my personal use. So, for those of you listening, this is Survive. Survive itself, and I'm going to go through kind of our stuff here, is a simple deck of cards. They vary about what's in it and that kind of stuff. This is all you need to play. And I think that's a major selling point for me. Additionally, the rules are simple enough to fit on a single card, even embellished, inside the box. And they're very simple. You're going to draw a card, and it will present a situation. And you and your group of friends or family members that you're playing with will then decide on who would die in that situation. And it's a game about throwing people under the bus and highlighting weaknesses and highlighting strengths and making any play you can to show, hey, I would survive in this situation. Maybe they wouldn't. The catch line for the game itself is the goal is not to win, only to survive. And that's very much what this game is about. And so you start off with a number of lives. Recommended game is 25 lives as you go through the deck. You're going to be watching us soon play through some playtest games where we do 9 life games. Games are very, very fast, lasting between 15 and 30 minutes on average. They can go a little longer if you have a particularly large or enthusiastic group, but you have time limits on how long you can defend yourself. So the process is very, very simple. Again, you draw the card, it presents a scenario, and then you turn on all of your friends and family members. And I think it's really cool about that. The game itself is wonderfully done. I think you can see our ratings and our checkouts in the next episode naturally.
Yeah, won't go too much into other than giving it the old thumbs up on this.
Yeah.
If you want to see a full breakdown of our review and what we think about it in detail, make sure you go check out that episode.
Yeah, that is going to deal with the gameplay. I will say this is a game that was designed and created and produced by a small group of friends and a hired artist. And for having such a small production crew, this is a very, very professional game. The artwork is top tier. The quality of the cards is top tier. The peripherals that you can get as part of our promotional here, I did want to bring up, I got the Survive Special Edition, which we haven't even had a chance to open yet. This is an entirely unbroken box, as well as a large collection of headstones that all list the number of lives, and you put your player's name up here. And these are all dry erase. And they come with little black dry erase markers. They clean up very nicely. There's no staining. The markers are high quality. The special edition of this game, I think, is absolutely worth a fair amount of attention, and it makes the game so much more thematic to play. You have some kind of fun with that.
It's a big one.
Don't worry, there's not big words in the cards.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
Eric managed to get through all of it.
More so than that, guys, all of these decks are around a theme that you can be very familiar with. The workplace scenarios themselves covered a wide range of working jobs that could be dangerous, including ones that we find entirely mundane. Others, like the film deck, tend to lean more on the kind of film tropes and recognizable scenes from very famous movies. History, again, it's going to talk about very well-known scenarios where you might find yourself in particular historical sections. You can choose the deck that you think would be most fun for you and your team. You can mix and match your decks quite easily. I know we have already talked about combining several of the decks into one giant play stack the next time we're going to be playing this game in order to get a little bit of chaos mixed in. For us here at Crossing the Nerdverse, is a particularly fun game for us because we get to adopt our podcasting personas as the specialist on the interdimensional fandomship, and watching us try to justify survival aspects within the realm of our specialties within Crossing the Nerdverse is something I'm very, very much looking forward to and excited about, especially because we all have such varied interests. Now, there are several things I wanted to bring up about this game that I think are really top tier, and then we'll get into some contact information for the producer. But I gotta say, I'm torn between how portable and accessible this game is versus absolutely how beautiful some of these cards are.
The portability to me is a big one. Like, there's so few games that you can just pack up and go on a whim. We talk about it in big depth, but I refer to it as a pub game or a party game. You throw a deck of cards into your pocket, you head out. The rules are quick and dirty, and you can get to playing right away. It's fun. It's enjoyable. It's meant to. It's designed specifically to cause discourse amongst all of your friends, because obviously you want to justify your position and your vote however you can. So yeah, as far as just a party game goes that you can throw in your pocket and head out, Survive nailed it on that one.
And I think one thing we don't consider, and I don't even think we talked about it when we played it, is just the fact that this is for everybody. Like Cards Against Humanity, a lot of people like that. I'm not letting my kid play that.
No.
And different games like that. So like this is a game that can be very adultish because you can take the questions and the scenarios to levels of whatever you want. So a really nice thing on top of the ease of play and portability is just the fact that this could be a family game. Like you can have a family night with your kids and everything and play it, or it can be a drinking night and you guys all kind of get inappropriate.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's one of those things. There's a lot of variability in it because you have Apples to Apples, which is the kids' version, essentially of
but that's
Cards
two
Against
games.
Humanity. You have What Do You Meme, which is another one that can be played with both kids and adults.
I will say, as far as Survive goes, my daughters are 8 and 11, and I would feel very, very comfortable letting them play this game.
Yeah.
And that's just with multiple boxes. Even they don't
they're
really
all just
going to
vote for Ryan anyway.
They're all going to vote for me anyway.
But like I was saying though, like the upside is that if you wanted it to get a bit more adult-ish, you just take it that way yourself. Like when you're backstabbing each other and everything like that, like you could take it there.
It's all going to be based on the crowd of people that you're playing with and what level of appropriateness everyone is comfortable with in that regard. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of variability in play. There's good variety. Again, we're getting too much into the review side of it.
You'll be able to see a full playthrough coming directly after this episode, where we just absolutely we're going to go through 2 different boxes is the plan for that episode. So, but yeah, I will say it's one I would feel very comfortable letting my kids play, but it doesn't feel like a kid's game. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel juvenile, and it doesn't deal with factors that are normally associated with kids' games. The only real concern I would have with opening up as a family game is you need to be open, I guess, with the concept of danger, which I feel like is a pretty good opening point. In fact, for certain kids, the ability to read the card isn't even necessary, and so
you're gonna read the scenario out loud anyway.
Yeah. And so between how easy to learn the game is, how accessible the game is, how portable the game is. For me, the one key feature on this one, this strikes me not just as a pub game, because that was my first thought as well, Travis. I'm going to take this down to, down to my local micro, maybe on trivia night or whatever, to play some games before the trivia night gets started. This is a great car game. you're on a long road trip with 5 people in your car. This one's easy. There's no board. You don't put anything down. Nothing. You just pull out a deck of cards, shuffle it up, and start playing right there in the car. And
That's a good point. Yeah, again, going back to that portability of it.
so
with that, just to give you guys on this one a brief rundown of the rules, you have a deck of cards. Everyone decides on a life total. That is the amount of votes that you can sustain before being knocked out of the game. You have 2 choices. You actually have a handful of choices on when the game ends. In our playthrough, I think we're going to cut it off on as soon as the first person is eliminated. We're going to try a new one, and that's just to speed things through so we can try more cards. We want to be able to show you guys as much as possible. So you can go to last man standing. It's whoever has the final vote for the table, or you can go first person eliminated and then start a whole new game over if you guys are looking to just play a whole bunch of games in a row. So
yeah, I think out of so many games that try to hit this niche of easy, accessible, quick, this one did it in a way
fun.
that is very fun, right? It doesn't get boring. It doesn't start to slog out. I think we've all been in those games where you're at the pub and people just want to keep playing Cards Against Humanity until you're at 40, 50 points each. This isn't a game like that. It goes backwards, right? Just keep your lives. That's all you need to do. And
survive.
Survive.
It's in the title. It's in the title.
So, for anybody that's interested, obviously, you can watch our playthrough here at Crossing the Nerdverse as we go through this game. Additionally, if you are interested in trying out the game for yourself after watching our episode, check out survivethegame.org. That's their website. You can also email one of the creators at Christopher@survivethegame.org. They have a whole section. They're very, very communicative. They've been very much able to answer any of my questions or concerns. And more so than that, they've been extraordinarily patient with us here at Crossing the Nerdverse. As you are all aware, this summer turned into the summer of natural disasters, particularly, on my frontage. And so this episode's delayed by several months. And they've been very, very understanding and very patient with us about that. So,
yeah,
major props.
And if you watch our playthrough of it, we will be given a promotional code by Survive for, I believe, some type of discount. I think that's going to get covered in our full-length episode, so make sure you check that out. If you decide you want to pick up Survive, you can get a little bit off on it.
Yes, it's always nice. We're big on supporting each other in the community, so it's nice that they were able to do a promo code with us to kind of help everybody else out while we're promoting the product. And yeah, we just really appreciate them letting us do it. I also did an interview with a couple of them, so you can check that out. Any of that you're looking for is going to be on our website, which is the best way to get any of our stuff, is to just crossingthenerdverse.com. And you can find our different podcasts on there and check out the interview.
With that, once you hit us with that website for the game one more time, Ryan, you said it was...
All right, so it is survivethegame.org. All lowercase, all one word, survive the game. And as they say, survive now, cry later.
I love it.
With that, make sure you check out our playthrough, and we will catch you next time. Thanks for joining us.
See you guys.
Bye.